how to make money as a side hustle. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to make money as a side hustle and the number one thing everyone overlooks. There's 5 things I'm going to talk about in this video today, and it's going to be so exciting. So I'm going to talk about what to do. What do you do to start your side hustle? When do you start a side hustle? Number 3, I'm going to talk about the business plan. How much of that do you really need inside the side hustle? Number 4 gets good. When does the side hustle become the hustle? And then last, the biggest mistake everyone overlooks. So make sure you stay tuned to the end. So let's jump into the content. So number 1, the biggest hold up for most people starting a side hustle is, what do I do, right? And there are things that you can do. So here's how I want you to think about it. What's a product or a service? What's one of the 2 things that you could just sell? So when I first started, I did all sorts of side hustles. I did some personal training. I did some aerobics instruction. I mean, way back when I was a teenager, I mowed lawns. I worked for a variety of different people. What else did I do? I sold other people's stuff. So from 1996 to 2000, I was actually the master distributor of the Cash Flow Game. So what I did is I sold their products. I sold the Cash Flow Game, the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, and then I added 17 other expert gurus stuff to my package. So really, what do you want to do? What gets you excited? What are you passionate about? Now, I'm not one of those, mentors and coaches that really are going to lead with that. I'm really going to lead with this question. What have you done to make money? Right? So what have you done to make money is really where you need to lean, because you've already been paid for it, which means you have some expertise in it, you know how to do it. Products are a little more challenging, especially if they're yours. Like, I don't think inventing is the first thing you ever do. A side hustle has nothing to do with inventions or big technology bills that need capital. Side hustles are just fast 21st century lemonade. What could you do right now to make money? If you know how to do video editing, edit videos. If you know how to do video capture, if you know how to do photography, do some headshots. I mean, do simple stuff. If you're a cook, oh my gosh, food prep in other people's kitchens is huge right now, because most people don't want to they have their groceries delivered. They don't know how to food prep. There's so many things you can just do. Quick side hustles. I actually have a skill set analyzer. So I'm going to put that at the end as a gift. So you have to listen all the way to the end, and you'll get that with one of the big gifts that I'm giving you. So that's what you do. Is what do you like to do? What do you know how to do? And most importantly, what have you already been paid to do? I actually got to tell you a story about the Millionaire Maker. So in the Millionaire Maker book, one of the stories is about a woman who was working as an administrative assistant. And as we got together, I said, well, what is it that you like to do? How have you been paid? Well, years and years before, she actually worked at a vet clinic. And she said, I love animals. And she said, I really want to build a business around that. I said, well, start with dog walking. Well, dog walking became dog sitting, became an actual building that she bought where she would have overnight. She actually brought in a vet. They partnered. Then she went back to the homes, and then she provided home services. So if you're going to go get their dog, which is like their kid, you might as well get their mail, their dry cleaning, their everything else. So she built $1 million home services business. So what do you want to start with? Right? So that's the what. When do you start? Well, 20 years ago, or whenever you're listening to this, however old you are, now would be the time. A lot of you are going to say, I should have started 20 years ago or 10 years ago. It is what it is. Start today and start making money today. I have this whole concept and training around revenue producing days. And as you get to know our content, by the way, right now would be that moment. I want you to subscribe to the channel. I want you to click the notification. So every day, 5 days a week, you're going to get this content. And one of those videos, actually, if you go to a search bar inside my channel, you can actually search for revenue producing days. And I have a lot of content on what does that look like. See, we're so employee trained that a lot of you don't know, what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? What do you have to do to get up and generate revenue for you in your life? A paycheck's not just going to drop into your bank account anymore. You're going to generate it. So it's a very different energy and a different way that you live. When to start it? Right now, today. All right. So really, for a business plan, you just need the basics. Like, what are you going to sell? What's your strategy? What are your tactics? What are you going to sell? What are the products? And really, what are the prices? And I just want to give you a little education on pricing. Price at whatever the market, whatever's going on in the market. Like, go out to this great thing, the internet. It's called the bathroom wall, I call it. Where everybody's writing a little bit of everything. So you're going to get a lot of diversity out there. But every industry has a norm. Right? In massage, there's a norm for a massage. There's a norm for getting a tutor. There's a norm for hiring somebody to video edit. There's kind of a norm in whatever you're doing. So find the norm, and I'm going to invite you to price a little higher. Right? Don't be the cheapest out there. That is not what people want. People want quality, and really what people want is they want people to do things for them. They don't want to be taught to do things, and they have to actually figure out how to do it. I'm not going to teach you, like bookkeepers, I never want you to learn bookkeeper. Just hire it. That's nothing, unless you want to run a business as a bookkeeper, why would you try to figure out how to do it? So the goal in these side hustles and hustles is the more you do for someone, the longer you're going to keep that client. But make sure your pricing is really, really good value and a little higher. Because at some point when that side hustle becomes the hustle, if you're not priced right, you're going to have to go out and restart over because you won't have enough margin to hire people to do all the work. So that's a more advanced conversation, but I wanted to put that in is, do you need a business plan? You just need those things. You do need to know what, if you need some equipment, you might need to start up with a little bit of equipment. You might have some technology needs. You might have some initial products if you are selling a product that you need to do. Ideally, don't over leverage into big inventories. If you can at all, have them drop ship for you. All you're going to do is grab the client, get the money, take your portion, you pay someone else to do the delivery, and you don't have to deal with inventory. Especially in a side hustle, that gets really messy. So I really dissuade you from doing that. Now, business plan, what else do you need? It's kind of it. Do you need business licenses and resale license local? Ask your county, right? Just go down to your county office. They'll tell you exactly what to do. Your county clerk knows everything, and they will tell you what licenses you need to operate if you do sell product and if you need a resale license. All right, make it simple. Here's the deal. None of that stuff's necessary until the end of the year. It all is defined on your tax structure. So all year long, you can be working on these side hustles, making a little bit of money, putting it in your business bank account. We'll worry about all those technicalities at the end of a year. All right, next thing. When should your side hustle become the hustle? So I wrote a book called Put More Cash in Your Pocket. How to make $500 to $1,000 extra a month. That's side hustle stuff, right? That's stuff that your teenagers are going to do. That's what you might do. But when your side hustle and there's something that's really ramped up could become your hustle is when you have eyes on making six figures. When you know that you want to ramp up to $33 cents a month, right? $8,333.33 is a $100,000 business. Now we're getting serious. Now, I want you to go back to my channel and search for when do you quit your job. I actually have a formula on how much your side hustle should be making, right? So go back and search that and check out in a little while, we're going to be putting some fun playlists out that are going to combine a lot of these topics. So you can just binge for like hours on some of these startup business concepts that I talk about. But your side hustle to a hustle is when you are intent about potentially quitting your job, going full on, and building past the six-figure mark, right? So when you want to build past six figures, you move to the hustle. You also start building a database. You start building in a team. You definitely get incorporated. So there's a lot of things as you decide to move from side hustle to hustle. You want to check back in with our team, and we have a guaranteed program. I'll coach you how to make $100,000 in 1 year, guaranteed. That is not hard to do. You just have to want it. So the one mistake that everyone overlooks, and I mentioned it a little in the last section, is the end of the year. See, I want you just to try a bunch of stuff. I want to see what's going to stick, what's going to work. Can you get reoccurring clients, right? Just start making some money. As far as getting incorporated, that is critical because this whole year you cannot deduct if you're not incorporated. See, you as an individual, you don't have any legal right to write off, say, your video equipment, your phone, your home office, your car. I mean, there's so many things. I'm going to go the other way. There's probably only 8 or 9 things that you actually personally need that you can't write off through a corporation. So your companies have these legal rights to do deductions, 81,000 pages of tax code. So as you're moving from, anything in the high 40s, 50, 60,000 as a side hustle, I get you incorporated. I go down to the county clerk, I get your licenses, I get your resale license if you need that. I get structured by the end of the year. Have to, or you'll miss all the deductions that you could have just, if you've run it and it's really not profitable, but you made enough money, you were able to pay off your startup costs, you're able to pay your expenses, you get to do all that inside of a corporate structure. So when you talk to our team, ask them about the corporate structure, ask them about the tax planning. Anything over $600, you have to pay tax anyway. So I'm of the opinion, yes, get incorporated. If your intent is to live corporate life and live the lifestyle that I talk about in this channel, you get incorporated, right? I have a book coming out in April on how to make your kids millionaires. I'm so aggressive with the parents that I teach. At 18 years old, your kids sign into your companies with you, or they get an LLC for their birthday. That's how serious we are about living corporate life and the intent of living in this great country, because we get to. There's not another country that allows you to do what we get to do here. So again, the biggest mistake is that people let the year end and they are not incorporated. So what I want to do is offer you an opportunity to talk to our team. Before that though, I'm going to give you a copy of my New York Times, the primary book that we live and breathe by, The Millionaire Maker. So The Millionaire Maker, I'm going to give you the first 3 chapters for free. I want you to read them all. You'll learn about a gap analysis. And gap analysis is where you are and what do you want. And then there'll be an application, just a few very short questions that will tee you up to talk to one of my senior team members. And they're going to talk about what your goals are, what your side hustle could be, and help you get started today. As a bonus, we'll throw in that skill set analyzer. There's 1,000 different things you could do, right, to go start a business and do some side hustles. So we're going to give you a bunch of bonuses. So click on the links below, consume the 3 chapters, do the application, get on the calendar with my team members, and I'll see you tomorrow.